There are fast cars, there are big cars, there are luxurious cars. And then there's this bloody thing, the Fiat Uno. To most people, it's just a small hatchback from Italy, a tin can on wheels, a box with mirrors. But to me, this maroon 1998 5-door Uno, Rosso Bordeaux Metallic if you must know, was my childhood chariot. This was my mom's car. Every Saturday, she'd take me to the mall in it, or we'd dine out, or visit her other house. And when you're a kid, all those places are Disneyland. So naturally, I bloody loved weekends. Because weekends meant this: the smell of sun-warmed vinyl, the clatter of the door lock, the sound of the boot slamming shut. This Uno was freedom, and the occasional sore arse from the bumpy ride. It didn't just drive me around, it drove me into the past. And now, I'm going to drive it into your hearts. Welcome to Carisma. The Fiat Uno launched in 1983, designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro, the same man who penned the DeLorean, the Lotus Esprit, and about half of every interesting 80s wedge you've ever seen. But unlike his other flamboyant creations, the Uno wasn't designed to shock or stun. It was designed to work. Simple, boxy, functional, efficient. It was Italy's answer to the VW Golf and the Ford Fiesta, but with more pasta sauce and rust. It had just enough Italian flair to look fresh and just enough Fiat sensibility to fall apart. But damn it, it charmed people. And it sold. Millions of them. The first generation Fiat Uno was produced from 1983 to 1995 in Europe, but Fiat being Fiat, they kept churning them out in Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, India, and even the Philippines well into the 2000s. In fact, my mom's Uno, built in the late 90s. Part of the Uno Mille lineage, a budget-friendly version that just refused to die. You think cockroaches are tough? You've never met a Fiat Uno with a half tank of gas and a mother who's late to pick you up from school. Ah yes, the quirks. Let's begin with the doors. They shut with the kind of conviction you'd expect from a filing cabinet in a budget office. No thud, no thunk, just clink, like God tapping on a glass. Then there's the dashboard, which looks like it was designed using Microsoft Paint. Big, flat, square, with knobs and switches that feel like Lego bricks superglued by a drunk uncle. The steering wheel? It's a perfect circle, but that's about the only perfect thing in here. Thin, plasticky, and about as padded as a Frisbee, but it gives you everything. Every pebble, every pothole, every emotional breakdown of the front suspension. And the turning radius? Tighter than a drum. Perfect for U-turns, wet market parking lots, and chasing down ice cream trucks like your childhood depends on it. The seats? Thin, cloth, spongy. But here's the twist. They're surprisingly comfortable, like worn-out slippers. You sit high up too. Not SUV high, but like granddad high. You can see everything, which is great because the rear visibility is phenomenal. Big windows, slim pillars. Before backup cameras, there was simply vision. And the Uno was a bloody periscope on wheels. Now the engine. You had choices, a lot of them. From small buzzing 900cc units to 1.5-liter petrols, and even a few diesels for the brave. But the most common, especially in later models like my mom's, was the 1.0 or 1.1 Fire engine. Fire stands for Fully Integrated Robotized Engine. Sounds fancy. It wasn't, but it worked. Smooth, simple, reliable. It only made about 45 to 55 horsepower depending on which one you had. But that didn't matter, because the Uno barely weighed 700 kilos. So it still felt zippy. Not fast, not exciting, but alive. It made noise, it shook a little, it talked to you. Every gear change felt like you were part of something mechanical, not just pushing buttons and waiting for the car to think. And that's the charm. It didn't just move, it moved with you. Now here's the moment of truth. You get in, turn the key, and it starts, always, even when it shouldn't. Rain? No problem. Battery half dead? Still kicks. Left it for a month while on vacation? First crank magic. And when it moves, it feels alive. Not because it's fast, not because it's refined, but because you feel everything. The wind, the noise, the vibration, the road, the soul of Italian budget engineering. And then, the moment you glance at the passenger seat and remember your mom singing along to old love songs, you realize this wasn't just a car, it was a time machine. Most of the Fiat Unos are gone now, scrapped, rusted, forgotten. But for those of us who lived with one, who grew up watching its wipers struggle in the rain, who sat in the boot because the seats were full, who fought with siblings over who got to sit in front, the Uno isn't just a hatchback. It's a family member, a tin box full of memories, a monument to simpler times. And when I see one parked somewhere, covered in dust and missing a hubcap, I don't see a broken old car. I see home. So if you're looking for horsepower, buy a Mustang. If you want luxury, buy a Mercedes. But if you want a car that will etch itself into your childhood, a car that will hum in your bones long after it's gone, buy an Uno. Or better yet, never forget the one your mom drove. This is Carisma. We don't just talk about cars, we tell stories.